yeah. So again, I would keep these in sync. So therefore, I'm just going to remove the second. I'm going to put this. I'm going to comment this out. Okay. So yeah, somehow I don't know why I have to look into why our student struct just allowed us to say that it was hashable. I think there must be some magic that they just recently implemented. But yeah, so normally you would have to implement these two, and if you have a more complicated object, you would most definitely have to implement these. So so this is the hashable, and this is equatable. And then yeah, so with the caveat that hashable also includes equatable. So great. So now, very clearly, we are implementing the hashable protocol. We are doing it here. Okay, so that means we are now allowed to put students into a set. So let's put some students into the set. Yeah, let's create this. Let's create an empty set first, and let's put some students into the set. So set of students dot insert. And let's test its limitations. So student, let's see what happens if I put myself twice. And then so print set of students. Let's see what happens. Oh, and we're going to print. Yes, we're printing this one out again as well. Yeah, so our student set, I tried to put myself in twice. Let's make sure, let's put Bob in there also. Bob 49. I think that's what we gave him. Yeah, so it only allowed us to put myself in there twice. The way that we defined equality and the hash value, what happens if I'm going to change the name of one of the so there's two Axel students. What happens if I change the name of one of them? Let's see what happens. So we still just have one because we defined equality this way. So let's see what happens if we remove that. Now there's both of them in there. Yeah, so you have total control over how to define equality, how you want to do the hashing. Yeah, so this is a set. If you have the need to just have one of something in a data structure, the set one of each, the set is the one that you want to go with. The set and the array, you might want to go back and forth between them. So you can turn a set of students into array of students. So there's a constructor for the array that takes a set as an argument, and now we have an array of students. So we can convert them back and forth. Great. So yeah, so we've seen arrays now. We've seen sets, and then the other common one is a dictionary. So so yeah, what might you put in a dictionary? Who has an example for dictionary, hash map? What are other names for this? So yeah, I can think of dictionary, hash map. Who has an example of a dictionary or hash map usage? Say it again. A phone book. How would you implement a phone book using a dictionary?
You map each phone number to a name.
Very good. Let's create a phone book. I really like this. So var phone book. So how do you define? So the proper way to define a dictionary is by using the generics. So it would be int and student. So this would be the proper way. But again, there's a syntactic sugar way, so you'll never see this. I have never actually written this in my entire life. So int and student with a colon. This is a way how you can define a dictionary. And let's say we want to start with an empty dictionary. So the way you can create an empty dictionary is by doing this. Just the square brackets with a colon. Now we have an empty dictionary. Or if you don't want to declare the type first, another thing you can do is, this is another way to create an empty dictionary. So you just use the type, and then you use the constructor call to create it. Now we have an empty phone book. Let's add some values. So phone book. So let's do 555, 555, 5555. Okay, so that is clearly my phone number. You can reach me at this number. No. So let's create a couple of others. So let's do 333. I guess that's Bob's number. Okay, so and who did we have here? Zach. Oh, let's do Alicia. Phone book 1111111. Okay, so now we have a phone book with 3 entries. Another way we could have done this is we could have declared the dictionary and all of its values by doing it like this. So we're declaring the type, and then we have an empty dictionary where we are providing the key and the value, the key and the value. I think I'm actually mixing them up right now, but the key and the value. Okay, so now we declared this dictionary inline. Okay, so the first element here, if we were to look at the implementation of, or the generic, if we were to look at the function signature of the dictionary, the first one also has to compare to the hashable protocol. So now that a student conforms to hashable, we could use student as a key also. But we want a phone book. Integer conforms to hashable, so we can use an integer. String conforms to hashable. Yeah, there's lots of types that naturally conform to hashable, but if you can figure out a way to hash something, you can also have that be the key. Great. So yeah, we have a phone book. Let's see what happens if we print this phone book. Let's turn all of these print statements off here. Phone book. So we have the key, and then let's change the implementation of description. Let's do a dash there, or an underscore. Let's do an underscore because it's okay. So we have the key, colon, and then the value, comma, key, colon, value. So this is the entire phone book. How do we get an element out? So the dictionary is there so that we can quickly get to a specific element. It's O of 1. We just in an ideal circumstance, we just need to give it a key. We can get an element out in one operation, ideally. So let's say we want the person out that has the phone number 555555. So student. Okay, so what do you guys think the return type? So So what is this going to return? It is going to return student. So our phone book is declared with the key being the phone number and the value the student itself. So you're saying it's returning a student. What happens if you can't find someone with this number? So what happened in an array when we went over the index? Say it again? Yeah, so it crashed. Yeah, so when something was out of bounds, it crashed. So for the array, it was easy for us to check whether or not the index was within bounds. For a dictionary, we can't really check beforehand whether or not an element should be included or not. So with knowing that, what do you guys think the return type is? So it's
it's an optional of types to do.
Let's see if that's correct. And you're correct. So if you're retrieving a value out of a dictionary, it returns an optional type because it might not exist in the dictionary. So you have to check whether or not that is nil or not. Great. So yeah, dictionary. Let's just quickly go over what you can do with a dictionary. So you can iterate over a dictionary. So for phone number student in phone book print let's print the phone name student dot name. So if you're trying to print this right now, I'm forgetting the brackets. I'll go over the notation here in a second.
You've got the E in name.
Ah, thank you. Okay. So what did we get here? What do we have? Sort and map. So we did something that didn't like. Let's see.
You missed E.
The
description.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
E in the description. Ah, thank you. Oh, where did I do this?
Or
Line 5. Let's see.
Try running it again. I think it was just
Ah.
error from the previous one.
Yeah. I was very confused. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so we have a way to iterate over a dictionary. So again, very similar to so we had our iteration over an array up here. We're iterating over students. We're getting each element, and we're doing something with it. We can iterate over a dictionary. We can get its key and its value, and then we have access to the key and the value. Yeah, lots of other cool things you can do with a dictionary. For now, we need this functionality. Yeah, so we went over array, set, and dictionary. We did this kind of for a purpose because in our not kind of, so very much on purpose, in our little city weather app, we will be dealing with a dictionary and a set. So I wanted to make sure that we cover that here before we see it there. Great. So let's take a 10-minute break, and when we come back, we will build an app that can get the weather for a city.